So if you've watched my tutorial about lists, then you're going to know that we created basically a command which allows you to see the players in the game, and you'll see that it would have just listed the players out, and I'm going to show you how you can write that command in this video if you haven't done that. But one thing which we're going to draw attention to in this video more than the other one is the fact that refreshing lists is a feature in basic admin that does exist. So if I say something else in the chat like hey to, and then click on the refresh button on my chat logs, you'll see that it refreshes the most recent chat logs and puts it there. That's something which can be very useful to have in your list, and that's something that we're going to look at adding today. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a plugin which shows the players that are in our game. So I'm going to duplicate the example plugin, and I'm going to call it show players. Now just ignore that one because this is actually the wrong plugin, so just ignore what that does. But yeah, in order to create a plugin which shows all the players in the game, all you have to do is basically copy the plugin that I added in my developer forum post, and so I'm just going to do it right now. So this shows all the players in the game. And so my developer forum post does this, and if you're unsure about what any of this does, then I recommend referring to my lists video, because yeah, basically that will show you what happens here. But in that video, I do explain that the true here or here, I can't remember which way around it is, but one of these parameters that is true is actually going to be basically allowing you to refresh, and so it will show the refresh button on the list that gets brought up, and so you'll notice that if we do that, if we do show players, and so we've got players in game, if we click on the refresh button, you'll see there's no flash. It doesn't load in new, like it doesn't load in any new players. I know there's no new players in the game, but you can't see that it's refreshing, and that's because it is actually doing nothing. If we open up chat logs, you'll see side by side what happens when we refresh both of them. This one, you can see the little flash showing that it's reloaded. This one's got no flash. It's just not doing anything. And the reason why is because we need to update in the main module how it handles the refreshing of a list, basically. And so we're going to deal with that now. And basically, all we have to do in order to do this is head into the main module. And if you don't know how to grab the main module, then definitely read my developer forum post about that. And we're basically going to try to find the logs section. So I'm going to search. I'm going to press Control F, and I'm going to search for join logs, just like that. And you'll see that we have 3 matches. And if we go down through the matches, we'll see that at the end here we've got this kind of thing which checks for every single type of list. Now, I don't think this is a really good way of the creator's done this. I think it's actually a bad way that he's done this, but if we do want to make our lists work, we are going to have to go with what we're doing here. And so in order to make our list work, we need the title for our list. So the title of our list is players in game, and this is from our plugin. So I'm going to copy that. And what I'm going to do is basically add a little bit of code here which says else if data2 is equal to, and then the title of our list then. Now, what this expects is that it will return a table. So we're going to have to basically copy the logic here and then return the table of players. So I'm going to do this. And then basically I'm just going to say return players. And that's all we have to do. So if we, this is how we handle the list. So if I head now back into the testing, we're gonna see that little flash. So if I do, and by the way, I'm just using the command bar here. You can do this in chat as well. If I do show players, you'll see that when we press the refresh button now, you see the little flash. That means it is actually reloading. And if we added another player into the game, we would actually then see that the player would be showing up in here as well. And you can test that in your own time if you would like to. But that's how you add reload capability into lists. And if you're unsure about anything to do with lists, I recommend watching the tutorial about lists, which is also linked in the description and in the card on the top right now, and also on the dev forum post. But yeah, that is how you make lists refreshable with basic admin.